Yo guys, welcome to the video. This is Josh or Milky, and today we received what is probably going to be one of the biggest patches of the league, and it was absolutely insane. If you've been playing the patch, you may have noticed that a lot of people have been linking some crazy items, and that is because the crafting is now very accessible, and some of the things people are doing is absolutely ridiculous. I myself crafted a scepter today and some wands. I can show you an example of the wand that I crafted. This was actually a miss on one that I went for. You can see I got T1 spell damage, T1 hybrid spell damage, T1 cold damage to spells, crit multi, T1 cast speed. It's crazy. It's ridiculous, right? It's mirrored. I sold the unmirrored copy. Brilliant. I also made a scepter. You can see it's here. It's +2, crit spells, spell damage, crit multi. How did we do this? Well, we'll talk about it in a bit, but you can see that I also got multiple scepters because of the way that I've set up my morgue. Now, the first thing I'm going to say is that, of course, corpses are going to be substantially more valuable now that the patch is hit and people are engaging with the crafting. Corpse farming is definitely going to be a strategy, and there will be a future video that I make going over how I'm farming corpses. I've been farming a ton today. You do have to buy some if you want to get the most bang for your buck out of all of your crafts. So let's start with the crafts that are valuable. And I'll explain why when we head into our first third-party tool of the video. So first of all, chance to craft an additional item. This is incredibly valuable because it essentially means that you can use your morgue, and all that work that you put in, you can end up getting multiple items. I ended up here getting 4 items from one morgue, and then they were mirrored, so a total of 8 items. And that was because of this chance to craft an additional item. There is also a chance to mirror an item, which I have right here, which is how I got the mirrored copies. And then you have multiple things that increase the effect of adjacent corpses or corpses in the same column and row. And these are the ones that are going to be very sought after. So you can see here, there's one here, it says 40% increased effect of beast corpses adjacent to this corpse. So not only are these corpses going to be valuable, but specific ones will be as well. If you look at these additional mod ones I have, all of them are beasts because I'm setting up a new craft, and in order to do that I wanted to get all the beast additional crafts along with the adjacent effect, and that is to get the most bang for my buck out of these, because these are close to a divine orb already, and I imagine they will only go up as people make more and more items. The kind of items you can make, well, I've already shown you mine, but I've seen 6 times T1 bows, perfect stats, triple T1 LE damage, crit multi, crit chance, and attack speed. So these are very, very valuable crafts. I do have a notepad here of other valuable crafts. We have things like the ability to split an item. In some cases, this is going to be very strong depending on what you make. The ability to fracture items, also very, very strong. And then the scarce modifier. So scarce, you need an absolute ton of these. So getting any scarce modifier is something you should throw into a sale tab. Now, there is currently no way that I know of to sell in bulk easily. It's going to be about communicating with the person buying from you. And I am sure there will be tools made for this mechanic over the next few days. There are also some very common increased ones that are very good. And that would be things like increased gem, crit rating, and attack. These are the most common ones that I've seen so far. And then finally, there is of course increased modifier tier rating. This is the thing you can target with the Atlas tree. If we come up here, you can increase the chance of you seeing this. And since it is a generic modifier now and it increases the modifier tier weighting of all tags, this one is pretty much a staple in every single craft. So farming these, they're going to be very easy to sell. These will be the easiest to move in bulk. So if you just want to farm corpses and one of the easiest ones to sell, I'd come up here and spec condensed souls and decisive souls, and you're going to get a lot of the ones that I've mentioned so far. Now's the part of the video where I share the spreadsheet, of course. I'm not the best at these spreadsheets, but I did make this today with the help of someone in chat. Originally, I had a bit of a different placement, and someone very kindly did a comparison and kind of showed that we could get our corpse value from 92.45 all the way up to 95.4. Now, you might be thinking this isn't that much because obviously you have 88, and then you're doing all this stuff just to raise it up to 95. But it's very important because you can actually scale the effect and condense that corpse value into one single grave or multiple graves. But more effect on individual crafts. So these rare crafts that I've been talking about that are definitely going to be expensive over the next few days, you can get more bang for your buck on those. So we'll start easily with the biggest point. If you put 3 adjacent nodes here and you put 2 mirror nodes here, then you will get 100% chance to mirror the item. So that's why this placement has been set up here. And then if you were to put 7 different additional chance to craft an additional item in these places that I have listed, you will get 300% chance to craft an additional item. So at that point, we're guaranteed to craft 3 items. They're all going to be mirrored, totaling 6 items. And you can also, obviously you could get more than this, but this is just the cleanest setup I've found so far to guarantee that kind of state where you're getting 3 items mirrored. This is the best setup I've seen so far. Could definitely be better ones, but this is what I'm going with. Now, the rest of it is obviously keyed. The red ones are a value of 1, meaning they have no increased effect on them. This is where you'd want to put things like your additional explicit modifiers, your quality, your item level, things that don't scale in any way and that you're happy to just kind of throw away and put in. Obviously, there could be some scarce modifiers or stuff like that. You've got plenty of places just to kind of dump things that you need but don't really care about increasing. Then next, we obviously have 1.25s. These are things affected by a single row or single column. This is going to allow you to increase the effect of a certain mob by 25%, which is very handy. It's going to let you to get to those breakpoints that you need to craft the items faster. Then we have the 1.5s that are going to be, you know, the big spenders. So hopefully you can get everything you need done in the 1.25s, and then you can, and the 1s, and then you can obviously spend the 1.5s on maybe even more chance to craft additional items, chance to fracture items, chance to split items, even more chance to mirror items. It gets crazy. And you can do so much with this. So using Craft of Exile to figure out the correct recipe, which we'll go into in a second, is going to be the best way to use this. Now, I'm not the best with spreadsheets. I made this, obviously I make my spreadsheet every league and it's kind of basic, you know, I've got my stuff in here. So forgive me on this one. I hope this helps in some way. I'm sure someone's going to make a very clean tool that makes this look like some kid drew it in kindergarten, but this is what we've got for now, or at least what I can share with you for now. I have tried to put a key on the side. If you have any questions, do ask me. I'm happy to answer. I don't want to bait anyone into wasting currency trying to do this and fail. So if you have any questions or if you have any concerns, please ask me, because I'm not trying to cause anyone to kind of ruin their experience here. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to share what I've figured out and utilized so far. That's always the case with the videos. But anyway, enough drama. Let's go into the next bit, which is Craft of Exile. So we can come in and look at an example of a craft that I was thinking about doing myself. I've come in and I've clicked level of skill gems and physical skill gems, crit multi. This would be for an amulet. So the calculator will then run all this through and it will spit something out, and then you can edit it if you think that it's something wrong, which it actually, from what I've seen so far, it doesn't do it perfectly every time, but it gets reasonably close. And the average number of tries on this one is about 2. You know, on average, it's going to take 2 tries. This obviously means it's not guaranteed. You're going to do a craft and sometimes it's going to fail, but the ability to then try multiple times using this technique here and then to mirror it means if you do hit it, and with something like an amulet, you could even add in fracturing, so then you'd fracture that +1 all skill levels. There's a ton of things you can do using this. You could get even more creative with the number of modifiers and all that stuff if you wanted to reduce the number of explicits and then fracture just 1 mod. So you could get the explicits down to 1 mod and then just fracture 1 thing. You can basically make a fractured item. You could then fracture 2 mods if you really wanted to. We can get to 99%, but this is using 2 explicits, so let's get rid of that. We're up to 92%, and this would be a 4 mod item. So if we then fracture 2 modifiers, then we have a pretty decent chance of hitting the things that we would want. So you could obviously make a 4 mod item with crit multi as well, and fracture 2 mods then, and then you've got a really good chance of fracturing exactly what you want. So this could get absolutely ridiculous. I think people are going to be printing like perfect items in no time, and the prices of corpses is going to go to the moon. So knowing how to farm corpses is going to be really big. I'm going to be working on figuring out exactly how to do that. I do have an atlas that I've been testing today. I don't know if it's perfect. I will put it on the sheet. For now, I think that will be it for the video. A lot of highbrow stuff, a lot of spreadsheets, all that kind of shit. But it's the league. It's the way it is. And it allows us to do some stuff that we haven't been able to do in a long time with crafting. It's pretty deterministic. You can pretty much choose an item and give yourself really good odds to hit it. If that's something you enjoy, I think you're going to really enjoy crafting in Necropolis. If it's not, well then grab yourself a shovel and you're going to sell the corpses to those people. And I'll see you in the next video.